I'm at the top spot, the right spot. Talk to me nice? Why not? You are now tuned in with Talk to Me Nice with TERRi RENEE. So hello everybody, we are here with Robin, the future, Miss Robin Davis. So just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do.
A little bit about myself. I work for Hot 102.9. My show is on the weekends on Saturday from 2 until 7 p.m. And then on Sundays it's from 3 until 7 p.m. I also work here at Central State. I'm in public relations. What else? I do a lot. I feel like I'm a grad student, a full-time mother. That's about it, really, but that's a lot.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you kind of came up with your name and kind of what was the thing behind coming up with the future.
Basically, I was in class here at Central State. I am alum of Central State, by the way. And I was in class. I was in my radio class, and they told us we needed to come up with a radio name. And so at the time, that was my Instagram name. And the reason it was my Instagram name, because I just wanted to make something up, because it got to be different for Instagram. And so I asked not my current student, but the student that was there at the time. And I said, my classmate. And I said, hey, what do you think about, me using this one? And she was like, well, just use it. It's already on Instagram now. I was like, okay, whatever. So that's how it came up to be.
All right. So why did you decide to venture into the field, and what kind of made you choose this to be your passion?
It's always been my passion. My family's from Gary, Indiana, so I've always heard the radio stations in Chicago. Gary, Indiana is real close to Chicago, so we always picked up their radio stations. And that was something that I just loved listening to every time we went out there. And it amazed me how you can hear the people on the radio like, oh my gosh, how did they change their voice? How did they do this? How did they do that? So I was always fascinated with it. So I actually ended up getting into it because I signed up to do promotions for the radio station. And it was funny because when they actually emailed me back, I thought it was like a spam. So I was like, oh, this ain't for real. But my goofy self, I ended up responding back to it. So just to see what was going to happen. And they were like, well, you can come in for an interview, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this ain't real. So, it was in Kettering. So I'm like, okay, it might be a little safe. So I get there. It's the actual radio station. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go in for my interview for promotions, and they hire me. So about a year later, I said, okay, I really want to do radio. I want to be on the air. Mm-hmm. And I asked my supervisor. He told me no. That was the first thing. He didn't even think about it. He just said no. So I was like, all right, bad. I'm going to come back and try again.
Yeah, you're tripping.
That's not nice. So I came back and I was very serious about it. I'm like, sir, I really want to be on the radio. Just give me a shot. He said, okay, cool. So my first show was on Saturdays from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then he moved me to Fridays from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Then all of a sudden, the person that was in charge of the evening shift from 7 p.m. to, the night shift really, from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m., he quit just automatically, just decided he wanted to go. So, right. So I was like, okay. So they gave me his show. I was like, okay. I just started Central 2 days prior to him quitting. How's this going to work? So I went on and started doing that show. Then luckily my coworker, he got hired. His name was TJ Smooth. He got hired. So when he came in 3 months later, they moved me. They were like, okay, we can't put you back overnight. That's not right. So let's give you a permanent show on the weekend. So that's how I got my time slot now.
Okay. So sometimes this industry can get hard. What do you believe are your biggest challenges?
My biggest challenges, first off, is being a mom and making sure that I'm there for him. Because working in radio, you have to work all type of different hours.
Yeah.
But being a mom, that's a full-time gig. You don't get to pick what time, what day, all this other stuff. So that was one of my struggles. And then also being a female on the radio in this area. It's a lot of males on the radio here, especially for Hot 102.9. And at the time, there were no women on the air for Hot 102.9. So that was my biggest thing. And then to find out I was the first lady since, I think it was 8 years.
Wow, that's a long time. So you have something to legacy to do.
I do. And then it's funny because the person that was on the air before that, her name is Dr. Williams here on campus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Yvette Williams. So she was the first. Well, she was on the air before me.
Yeah.
8 years prior to that. So I had a lot to live up to because she already knew what was going on with me. She was like, "All right, now." But yeah, I think that's a big task to have to deal with, like trying to figure all that stuff out. So.
What are the pros and cons of your industry or your field? Do you like have any? Do you think it's like some things that you like about it, some things that you don't like about it? Because I know with any job, it comes with things that we don't like and we do like. So what would you say would be your pros and your cons?
The con for me is, since it is in a smaller market, you have to work twice as hard to make sure your ends are meeting. So you have to do appearances. You have to go host here, go do this, go do that, have a side gig, work here full time. You have to have all those things instead of, being in a big market and only having to deal with that one job, So I think that's something that's a con for me. As far as pros, you get to meet a lot of interesting people. And it's not right, the celebrities, the listeners, just people you work with, people that have the same goals as you, So, and that's a lot of times you don't get to work with people like that. So
that's true.
I think that's a nice pro.
Okay, so how do you think your career affects others and people around you, good or bad? And how has it changed the lives of others?
Now, I don't know if it changed lives, but because I don't even want that on me. But I do know a lot of my listeners, they'll inbox me on Snapchat. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. You're my favorite. Aww. Things like that. So like that's encouraging. And it's even younger kids. So I have to watch what I say on social media because they're watching my every move. Yeah, they're watching my every move. So that's another thing. But I don't think I've saved a life yet. They ain't told me. So
That's okay. I mean, hey, we're not here to be some people just aren't here to be role models. Some people are just here to just do what they do, and that's just your job. So what makes what you do special to you?
For me, I'm able to reach out to everyone. Like, you guys have to listen to me. Unless you change the channel, then that's just rude. But a lot of people get to listen to me. A lot of people hear what I'm actually saying. Like, oh, wow, I can relate to that. Being a single mom, people can relate to that. Being a graduate of an HBCU, people can relate to that. Things like that. So I get to reach out to those people.
Look at you. You just another Beyonce, but you're not Beyonce.
I ain't got that money.
It's okay. It's coming.
That $25,000 ain't hit Central yet. So,
what tips can you give others on how to separate themselves from the rest and be different?
Be yourself. Always be yourself. Don't try to be like others that you're seeing, like, oh, I like how she did that, I'm gonna do the same thing. No, if you're gonna do it, recreate it and make it fit you more. Absolutely.
Okay. What makes your company different from others that like exist now? Like, what makes where you work different from other ones that you probably could have chosen, or different things? What do you think really makes your family there?
That's what it is. It's a family. It is definitely a family. We always have each other's back. You can't say that for a lot of jobs because a lot of people are greedy. Like, they want to make sure that they're being seen and things like that. And that's not how it is at Hot 1029 or Alpha Media as a whole. We are truly a family. And I think you guys saw that.
Yeah.
When we were sitting up there, we were all just sitting there and laughing at each other because I think Faith said something about do it for the vine. I'm like, nah,
do it for the vine.
No, bring it back. That's not it. But that's how we are on a daily basis. We sit there, we crack up. We even went into the parking lot after all y'all left. And we just cracked up about everything, just laughed. So that's what we do. We're a family.
Oh, I love that. So, what would you say? Well, actually, most times we don't know where to start, and when it comes to wanting to execute our vision, what are some effective ways on starting your own, like kind of your own show, career, and becoming successful?
For me, I think that is something I'm still going through. I'm still trying to make sure that I'm being seen as Robin the Future and not just a radio personality that's on Hot 1029. So right now, for me, I'm starting my YouTube channel, and I did a like page on Facebook just for my radio personality, thing. But yeah, I guess it's me creating myself as a brand. So that's what you have to do. You have to brand yourself. So I'm learning how to do that right now as we speak.
So also, oftentimes we live life with regrets. Is there anything you wish you did differently? And if not, what are some things that you want to do in the future to improve your show? Maybe your career and you as a person.
If I would have did anything differently, no, I think I would probably keep everything as it is. everything. Because even, like, you know, when you go through things and like, dang, why did that have to happen now?
Yeah.
But then when you get older, it's like, I get it. I know why that happened. So I don't think I would have.
And I don't know if you're a spiritual person, but sometimes, you know, I be like, God, why you had to give me all these L's? You know, I wasn't trying to take that.
Okay.
But then I be thinking, like, it's all right, because he going to bless you with something else better. So
and he
it's
does.
okay.
And he does. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I would ever change anything because he either set me up for something or he was blocking me from destroying myself.
True.
So I'm cool with it.
The radio business and industry as a whole can be very busy. What is like a typical day, you know, consist of? Like, what do you do on a typical day? Is it kind of slow sometimes, kind of busy, kind of rowdy a little bit? Because I know how different personalities everybody.
Yeah. It depends on who's in the city.
Okay.
If it's a huge artist that's in the city, then it's ridiculous. If we're having like and we haven't done this in about a year or so, but we had Angela Yee there. We had Dreezy. She came down.
I love her.
It was like a ladies event that we had.
Oh, okay.
And it was
great.
So just packed and busy, making sure we were taking pictures with whoever wanted to take pictures with us, making sure pictures were taken of them and they were good. And, you know, it's just, it's busy, but just being in the studio, yeah, it depends on who's in there. It could be a slow day. So, like, if it's a slow day, you got to find stuff to talk about, especially if it's nothing really happening, you know, in the city or, you know, in the celebrity world. You got to find stuff to talk about. But if you got to find it, just make sure it sounds good.
Okay. Many people get discouraged when they feel they haven't done enough or they feel like they just have failed. What keeps you motivated?
My son. And I'm not saying do not have a kid to be motivated. Do not, because they cost a lot of money. But I mean, when those two eyes are looking back at me, like, all right, what we about to do? You gotta move. You gotta move. So he keeps me motivated. He does.
What are some ways you've dealt with negativity, and how do you think it kind of molded you into who you are today?
Negativity, it happens. I mean, I'm human. It happens. When it does happen, I ignore it as much as I can. Okay. Or I'll walk away from the situation. I try not to put myself in it because at the end of the day, this is me trying to build myself as a brand. You don't want that.
That bad look on you.
Yeah, so. Yeah,
because I know it's a lot of people who are on social media and they really don't watch what they post and things like that. So kind of, you know, you might not necessarily be ratchet, but because you post something ratchet, now you look that you're ratchet. Absolutely. So you do have to be kind of mindful of how you're portraying your character and who you are. So that is very important. And lastly, with our questions, it is important for us to kind of imagine and set our goals. Where do you see yourself in your business, or, you know, what you're doing in this industry in the next 5 to 10 years?
In the next 5 to 10 years, I want to either be on the syndicated show, which will be either Ricky Smiley's show, or I had another one. Dang, who else was it? It wasn't the Breakfast Club because they be doing too much, and I don't feel like fighting nobody. But something, Ricky Smiley show, because I like it's a family oriented show, and he's funny. He is hilarious, and I love to be around goofy people. So I see myself either doing that, or I want to do like a talk show like The View, or not really more like The View, like what is it? Not The Talk. What's the other girl? The Real. Adrian, The Real. I want to do something like that. So, that's what I'm seeing myself. I don't see myself living in Ohio in 10 years. Okay. Because I got to make some things moving. Things ain't moving in this area as much. It's not. So, but yeah, in 10 years, that's where I see myself.
Well, I think you had some really good goals and everything set, and I really hope that your dreams and everything that you want to do come true. And thank you for helping me build a stepping stone to make my dreams come true with my, field and everything, for letting me interview you. So I just want to say thank you, Miss Robin the Future Davis, for me interviewing you today. Thank you. And this is it for Talk to Me Nice with TERRi RENEE. Thanks. Hot 102.9, the hottest radio station in Dayton. Yes, you heard what I said. You heard me, sis. Check them out on their website. You can check out everything from the latest gossip, blog, news, weather, anything you need, and the hottest music. Don't forget to check them out right now. The website is there below, so make sure you check them out, and make sure you tell them that Lady T or T Renee from Talk to Me Nice sent you. Mwah.